Welcome to Bryce Comics. In this video we have a really cool, specially curated collection of just key issue comics. And for some reason, I don't know, something about the size of this collection, how it's, you know, relatively small and just keys. It's given me all the feels. I don't know, I've just having so much fun processing this and enjoying this. Also, part of it is that the majority of this collection is raw books, which makes it very difficult to value. Especially when you're doing a raw book collection from a distance and you're doing it by pictures or by a list and you don't know what they actually look like, if there's restoration, if there's not restoration, the grade condition. There's a lot more factors and variables with raw books. It also takes a lot longer to sell raw books. So if you have, you know, 20 raw book keys versus 20 graded keys, it's a lot faster and easier to sell the graded comics. I mean, because you know exactly what it is and you know exactly what to price it at. With the raw books, you have to grade them first and take a whole bunch more time as a dealer to, you want to make sure you're being fair, you want to make sure you're not overgrading, you want to check for restoration, and you know, CGC or any grading company takes all of that out of the equation for you. So it's just been really interesting. This stack of books is kind of like borderline, should I get these graded or not? I'm curious to know what you guys would think. What would you do with the raw books in a collection like this? Would you, if you were a dealer, would you sell them as is raw? Would you get them graded first? You know, financially speaking, I don't know. I'm really torn on what is the right move to make on these books when you factor in the cost of grading and the time it's going to take to press, clean, and screen these to make sure we're not submitting restored copies. I don't know which one would be the better financial move. It certainly would be a lot easier to just sell them raw, and that may be what I end up doing with these books. We'll have to see about that. But before we hop into the books, I want to remind you we have a monthly giveaway here on the YouTube channel. If you subscribe, comment, and like, you're entered to win a free slab. And if you head over to brycecomics.com and sign up for the newsletter, you're entered to win a free slab each and every month, and you get first access to new collections like this one when they come through the shop, and mystery boxes, all kinds of fun stuff. Use code COLLECT10 for 10% off. And lastly, follow me over on Whatnot. All of these will have been auctioned off by the time you're watching this video, starting at $1, but we have a ton of awesome slab shows and other stuff already scheduled over on my Whatnot. Tons of giveaways, tons of fun, chance to win a lot of prizes. We've been giving away some big money over on Whatnot, and there's a link down in the description for $15 towards your first purchase. If you're new to Whatnot, you can come by and pick up a free book, because I always have stuff in the Buy It Now for 15 bucks. So with that said, let's turn this camera around and take a look at these awesome books. So we're going to start off here with the slabs and then get into the raw books, starting off with Amazing Spider-Man 129 and a 3.0 with the custom label, The First Appearance of the Punisher. Presents great for a 3.0. And one of my last videos, there was quite a few comments of people saying, you know, just because it presents better than the grade doesn't mean you can charge more. Of course, I would never, you know, list a 3.0 that presents like a 4.0 and sell it for, no, this will be a 3.0 price, but I think it is fair to say when something looks good for the grade, and I think this looks good for a 3.0. Amazing Spider-Man 300 and an 8.5, newsstand edition, the origin and first full appearance of Venom. Marvel Spotlight number 5 and a 5.5 with white pages. This is a restored copy because it has a small amount of color touch on cover and tear seals to the cover. So I was kind of surprised to see tear seals. This isn't typically a book that you see like an extensive amount of restoration on, even though this is slight restoration. I was just surprised to see the tear seal to cover. You know, not too surprised to see small amount of color touch, but tear seals seems interesting that somebody would go to that length for a 5.5 copy of Marvel Spotlight number 5. But it's the origin and first full appearance of Ghost Rider. Awesome book, definitely cheaper if you don't mind the purple label. All-Star Western number 10 and an 8.0, the first appearance of Jonah Hex, and then Jonah Hex number 1 and 9.4 white pages from 1977. Avengers number 3, the first Hulk and Submariner team-up, and an early 1964 Avengers. Amazing Spider-Man 101, a 2.5 custom label, first appearance of Morbius. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 8, 9.6 white pages, signed by Mike Zeck on the first page. Moon Knight number 1 and a 9.4 white pages, first Moon Knight in his own title and the origin of Moon Knight begins. Batman 222, This is one that I haven't seen, I don't think I've ever seen this come through the shop. It's a 7.0 with white pages with the Beatles takeoff story. And it's got the Beatles on the cover here with an album cover, which is really cool to see. New Mutants 87 in a 9.4 white, first appearance of Cable, Strife, and the Mutant Liberation Front. Batman Adventures 12 in a 6.0 with white pages, first appearance of Harley Quinn in comics, but out of DC continuity. Always surprises me how much this book is worth even in mid and lower grades, but the market has spoken. It is a valuable, highly desirable, highly collectible comic. Hulk 182 and an 8.0 with white pages, the first appearance of Hammer and Anvil, the first appearance and death of Crackjack, and a Wolverine cameo on the first page. Ultimate Fallout 4 9.6 white pages with the custom label, first appearance, first print of Miles Morales. Ultimate Spider-Man #1 9.4, this is the origin of Miles Morales, and the second full appearance, first appearance of the Ultimate Prowler, and a couple other key significances for that as well. Spider-Man India #1, first appearance of the Indian version of Spider-Man. Tomb of Dracula #10, a 2.0, first appearance of Blade. New Mutants 98 and a 9.2 white pages, first appearance of Deadpool. Superman 199 and a 4.5 with white pages, the first Superman versus Flash race. Ghost Rider #1 in a 5.0 PGX. I do believe I am going to crack this out and either sell it raw after I check for restoration or have it regraded. Teen Titans 12 and a 9.4, the first full appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. Incredible Hulk #102, continued from Tales to Astonish #101, and the first Hulk title since Hulk #6. Incredible Hulk #180, this is a 4.0 qualified because it's missing the Marvel value stamp. First appearance of Wolverine in cameo. Definitely, you know, a more affordable option if you can live with the green label for these Hulk 180s and 181s. All right, and now for the raw books. A really exciting set of raw books. Just basically all keys. It's just so fun to see these books raw. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with these, whether I'm going to sell them raw, get them graded, sell them graded. Almost all of these are worth grading, but it's one of these interesting situations that's really causing me to stop and think, what do I want to do with these? Like, the cost of grading, these are like mostly probably like mid-grade stuff, like right at the cutoff for grading. So I might have to do a whole video on it. It's having me rethink a whole bunch of concepts in collecting and selling comics. But let's just enjoy these covers for what they are. Amazing Spider-Man #19, #20, first appearance of the Scorpion, 22, 25, 31, first appearance of Gwen Stacy, 33, one of my favorite Steve Ditko covers, 39, 41, first appearance of the Rhino, 43, 50, Amazing Spider-Man 50, first appearance of the Kingpin. Unfortunately, there are hole punches in the sides, so that is very unfortunate. Feels a little thin too. I would have to open this up. I may be missing a page or something, but I'll have to check. Amazing Spider-Man 64, 252 Newsstand Edition, 316 Newsstand Edition, classic Todd McFarlane cover, 361 first appearance of Carnage, 238 first appearance of the Hobgoblin. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, we have #1, #2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're missing 8. I couldn't believe it too. With so many awesome keys, it's like, why missing 8? So then 9, 10, classic Doom cover, 11, and 12. New Teen Titans #1. New Teen Titans #2. This one's worth quite a bit more than #1, which is awesome. Marvel Spotlight on Ghost Rider #6. This is the second appearance of Ghost Rider. And we have Marvel Spotlight #7, 8, 9. Some awesome Ghost Rider covers. I love this too, up in the top left. Amazing Spider-Man 4, first appearance of Cindy Moon as Silk. House of Secrets 92. This is probably the biggest raw book in the bunch. Swamp Thing #1. All-Star Western 11. Batman 189. First Silver Age Scarecrow. Batman 232. Classic Neil Adams. Marvel Premiere #15. First appearance of Iron Fist. Iron Fist #1. First solo series for Iron Fist. Iron Fist 14. First appearance of Sabretooth. Invincible Iron Man #1. Nova #1. Star Wars #1. Star Wars #2. Avengers 57. Avengers 87. Avengers 12. 9. First Wonder Man. 7. Fantastic Four 46. First Black Bolt. FF 49. A low grade copy. First full appearance of Galactus and cover of Silver Surfer. Incredible Hulk 340. Classic Todd. Omega Men 3. First appearance of Lobo. Weird War Tales #93. Tales of Suspense 48. Tales to Astonish 49. Adventure into Fear #10. Marvel Spotlight #2. First Werewolf by Night. Ghost Rider #2. Invincible Iron Man #2. And Amazing Spider-Man #654, the second print variant. Very expensive in a 9.8. Unfortunately, this is not a 9.8. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this collection as much as I'm enjoying it. I hope you get to take some of these books home yourself. Something about the fact that this is such a small but powerful collection of just keys has me really appreciating this collection. Shout out to the seller. Thank you for working this deal. I forgot to mention that originally when the seller reached out, it was 3 months ago, and I gave him a price for the collection. Some stuff came up with his family, and he reached back out and said, hey, sorry, I've been gone for 3 months. Does the offer still stand? And that kind of put me in an interesting spot, because it was like, well, what do I do with the price? You know, I didn't want to look up every single one individually again. So we ended up working on like 10% less, maybe it was even less than that, like 5 to 10% less than what I offered him. Didn't even want to look it up. I wanted to get my hands on these raw books in particular. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you as always for sticking with me to the end of the video. Don't forget to check me out on Whatnot, link down in the description, for $15 towards your first purchase. Sign up for the newsletter at brycecomics.com. Use code COLLECT10 for 10% off. Thanks as always. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye. Alright, welcome to Bryce Comics. In this video we have a special treat, a really cut that part out. God, I need to stop saying that. You can't just cut that whole
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.